We live in a society that defines what is considered normal, acceptable, and desirable, and everything that doesn't fit into these boxes is often seen as wrong, as strange, or even shameful. These social standards shape our behavior, our emotions, and the way we relate to others too. When I was 16 years old, I remember that I took part in a school play, and that was very fun. And I remember not inviting anyone to come and to watch me. There were two main reasons for that. First was that I didn't really have any close friends or people I could rely on at that time. My family didn't have a tradition of emotional closeness. So even when something important happened at school or in my life in general, no one would ask about it. The second reason was that I didn't talk about these things either. Deep down, I believed that even if I did say something, no one would care or show up. I grew up without a real attention or validation from my family, which led me to believe that if I invited someone to see me or be part of my life, they would say no or simply not come. But that night at the play, one of my classmates, someone who was a little bit closer to me, had his family there. He was lovely, they took pictures, his friends were there, everyone was so happy for him. He asked me, surrenderly, "Where are your parents? Who is coming to watch you today, Stacy?" And I lied. I said that they were coming, they were already somewhere in the audience, but the truth is, I was alone. And even though this kind of emotional neglect causes pain, I was used to it. So don't feel pity. The idea of what is normal is a social construction and often an emotional trap. So, from a young age, we are told that there is one correct way to live, to grow, and to become someone, something bigger. And this model is reinforced by the media and the social groups. And when we don't fit into it, we feel shame, isolation, and like we don't belong. Human beings have a deep need for connection and belonging. We understand, we know about it. We naturally want to be accepted, recognized, and valued. When we don't receive this, especially during childhood and adolescence, we often develop harmful beliefs about ourselves. Beliefs like, "I'm not worthy of love, no one cares about me," or "I'm not enough." But we are not and should not feel responsible for things we couldn't control. I remember that a day after play, I could have just said, "No one is coming." Fine. I didn't need to explain or feel bad by myself about life. That's just life. My life was like that. I had no friends, and that's okay. Not always okay, but okay enough. Life isn't a perfect. And I think during my secondary school years, I believe I started to accept myself more. I accepted myself as a human being who wasn't normal by social standards. To be normal, you're expected to fit into a certain partner, to look in a certain way. And when you stop trying to fit in this incredible freedom, you stop wanting to be accepted. You stop needing to seem normal. Of course, this mindset doesn't always work in real life, especially when you have bigger goals. Sometimes you still have to pretend at least a little to be normal. And so, if you feel like something is missing in your life, something that makes you feel abnormal, maybe you will need to copy certain behaviors, not for acceptance, but for social connections and relationships. Definitely. Still, I believe that at some point, everyone needs to take off the mask and stop lying to themselves about a life, about a personality, about an identity that isn't real. That's the only way to truly know yourself. That's how you begin to heal from your past. And when you find yourself in situations where you're the only one who seems different, you will still be human, just like everyone else. Maybe others won't have your problems, but life is more complicated than how things appear on the surface. Feeling abnormal sometimes is just really about the pain of not seeing your experiences reflected in the world around you. But the world is changing, and if you don't see yourself in other people, you can start making yourself visible too. That way, others might see you, and maybe you will help them see themselves too. Sometimes, all we are missing is courage. Courage to understand that inside all the social abnormality, there is something very human, something very real, and that in itself is normal enough.